We can do 100. We can do $1.
What rate lane are you gonna get?
If you'll race, I'll give you that other lane.
Just now, a $1,000 wager escalated into an explosive showdown on the racetrack, turning a thrilling contest into utter chaos. The atmosphere is now thick with tension, and every roar of the engine echoes with the weight of past glories and high-speed rivalries. At the center of it all stands Big Chief, a racer known for his lightning-fast reflexes and unrelenting power, now facing the ultimate test. What unfolds when a sprint for the finish line transforms into a battle for respect? The silent racetrack. The racetrack lay empty, a sign that everyone had cleared out, perhaps weary of the constant teasing and false starts. One might almost hear the echo of engines revving in the past, a ghostly reminder of the excitement that once filled the air. Yet there he stood, alone, his presence undeterred by the lack of competition. His reputation as a seasoned racer preceded him, and it was common knowledge that a spot in the race was already his. As the sun set, a note fluttered against the fence. The race is not what it seems. Watch your back. He stared into the distance, the twilight casting doubt on what was real and what was mere shadow. Well, all right then, no need to rush. This is just a practice run after all. There won't be anyone racing next to you in the other lane, just making sure you're aware. It's good to get this practice run in so you know what I'm thinking. If Wayne, with his high-powered car, decides not to race, that's totally fine. The 405 team will claim the win, and we'll bring the farm truck out to the starting line on its own.
How much money? How much money? Betting. We'll do it for $1,000. You give me the right lane? Yes, sir. All right? Absolutely, man. Be safe out there.
Upon the gentle hum of the engine in the background, one could envision the scenario unfolding at the farm track, a scene laden with anticipation and the scent of raw competition. As the sun cast long shadows beside the farm truck, the protagonists contemplated the challenges laid out before them. Despite Chief's enthusiasm for their participation, racing was a line they had chosen not to cross, not out of fear but out of a firm resolve to stand their ground. It wasn't a decision taken lightly, especially after a grueling 20-hour journey that underscored their commitment, not to the race, but to their principles. Meanwhile, whispers of Wayne being persuaded to race added a layer of uncertainty to the gathering. The air was thick with speculation, everyone waiting to see how the cards would fall. In the midst of this, a casual bet was proposed. Perhaps a mere $1 or $100, the amount was trivial, yet it symbolized a readiness to engage with the spirit of the event, if not directly at the steering wheel. This wasn't just a race, it was a representation of something greater. The protagonists felt the weight of their home state on their shoulders, a sense of duty that transcended the personal cost. Declaring a bold wager of $1,000, they committed to the competition, a testament to their journey and the stakes they were willing to claim. As preparations commenced, the protagonists checked their vehicle, a 96 Pro Mod Corvette equipped with a powerful 526 Hemi engine boasting 3,000 horsepower. It was a machine built for prowess and speed, a perfect beast for the track. The excitement was palpable, the engine's roar a clear signal of the imminent duel. Yet as the race approached, a moment of hesitation gripped them, a brief reconsideration of the risks involved. But the commitment was made, visible in every preparation and palpable in the tense air. It was time to face the challenge head-on, to navigate the lanes with precision and to embrace the outcome, whatever it might be. In this arena, every moment was a testament to the courage and tenacity required to compete, and perhaps more importantly, to remain true to oneself. The race is on, and Holly Hill is buzzing with excitement.
Here you go. Here's $1,000. Here's $1,000. There you go. You can double check it. It's all yours. It's tax-free for as far as I'm concerned.
A Holly Hill showdown. It was a tense moment at the starting line where John Townsend stood beside his 1975 Nova, which the locals fondly called Red Rum. The air was thick with anticipation and the faint smell of gasoline, a testament to the upcoming farm truck race that had everyone in Holly Hill, Florida buzzing with excitement. John, having invested a bold sum of $2,000 in the race, felt the weight of the challenge yet bore it with a staunch readiness that spoke volumes about his resolve. His competitor, Jeff Lutz, was a familiar face on the track, always seeming to cross paths with John in these high-stakes competitions. With a background echoing through the local tracks, John's Nova was more than just a car. It was a beacon of his dedication to the sport. The machine boasted a whopping 1,600 horsepower courtesy of its 580 cubic inch engine. After their last encounter, John had made significant improvements to Red Rum, tweaking the alignment and boosting the nitrous levels, ensuring it was in its prime condition to take on any and all challengers. The community support was palpable, rallying behind John with cheers and eager discussions about the race's outcome. Despite the camaraderie and the jovial atmosphere, a palpable undercurrent of competition permeated the air. Each racer knew what was at stake, not just the money, but the bragging rights and the unspoken promise of future encounters. As the racers lined up, the starting signal loomed overhead, ready to unleash a cacophony of roars from the engines lined up eagerly at the starting line. John's heart raced as he gripped the steering wheel, his gaze fixed on the road ahead. The race was more than just a contest of speed, it was a display of spirit, determination, and the relentless pursuit of victory. And as the crowd held its breath, the flag was waved, unleashing the thunderous pursuit of glory down the sun-baked asphalt of Holly Hill. John had been bragging about his upgraded car for weeks, sure that his new improvements would help him win, but James Scotty wanted to show just how hard it was to beat the famous 405 racers on their own turf. As the race began, the light flashed, catching James off guard for a moment. He started just a split second too late. Things got worse when he hit the gas too hard, causing his tires to spin without grip on the road. Even with this rough start, James pushed his car as hard as he could, but he knew deep down he hadn't prepared as well as he should have. Still, the race was a great learning experience, giving him a chance to compete and connect with other racers. After it was over, James and John gave each other a quick nod, a simple gesture that showed they both respected the challenge and the excitement of the race.
We got a new strategy this time. We're gonna beat them.
Sorry, man. Can't change it. What are you gonna do, man? Yep. Got nowhere to go. Can't run on the rain.
But that wasn't the end of it. As the event wrapped up, James suggested they all head to a local hangout called the Pimptoose, a popular spot where racers gathered after events. As they walked, people chatted about where they'd parked their cars and joked about the intense race they'd just seen. The place was buzzing, filled with racers and fans sharing stories of close calls and big wins. The day wasn't just about racing, it was also about building connections and earning respect among rivals. James, known for his tough driving but fair play, made a strong impression on those who had come to compete against him. But the best part? The day ended with racers and fans going their separate ways, full of stories to tell and memories to share, all revolving around the thrill of street racing on the 405. The night race brings new challenges and big bets. A rainy standoff. As the night descended, a palpable tension hung in the air at the local racetrack. The track was bathed in the glow of floodlights, casting long shadows that seemed to hint at the drama about to unfold. A 1978 El Camino, cherry red and polished to a mirror finish, sat at the starting line, its engine idling with a deep, menacing rumble. Beside it, a black El Camino of the same year mirrored its stance, poised and ready for action. The race was not just a test of speed, but of nerve and skill, with $1,000 at stake. Scotty, the driver of the black El Camino, had made a significant journey to compete, his determination palpable. The drivers focused intently as the team chief finalized the preparations. The atmosphere was electric, the crowd's anticipation building to a crescendo. Suddenly, the starting light flickered to life, signaling the commencement of the race. The driver of the cherry red El Camino pressed the launch button, a practice move meant to catapult him forward. However, instead of surging ahead, he found himself inexplicably held back. The trans brake, a mechanism designed to hold the car stationary until the right moment, malfunctioned, trapping him at the start line. And if that wasn't enough, the weather decides to add to the drama. The rain starts pouring down, and there's nothing we can do about it. You can't control the weather, and you sure can't stop it. Nobody wants a race to be canceled because of rain, especially after folks have traveled such a long way. These guys came all the way from Florida, and now here they are, stuck in a downpour. Before the rain began to pour heavily, 3 out of the planned 7-car races were completed. As the clouds gathered, the racers and spectators started to acknowledge the change in weather. Some were quick to express their reluctance to continue, opting instead to stay sheltered from the imminent downpour. The arrival of firefighters at the scene underscored the seriousness of the situation, leading to further doubt about continuing the event. One driver inquired of another about their plans, receiving a resigned response about the impossibility of racing under such conditions. However, a few voices among the crowd held on to the hope of continuing the races, though they were quickly reminded of the limitations posed by their current vehicles and the worsening weather. Amidst this, a racer expressed a whimsical desire to halt time itself to avoid the disruption, while practical advice circulated about seeking shelter. The conversation shifted to the participants who faced a long drive back to Florida that night. There was a general consensus that Team 405 would have secured an easy victory if the races had continued. Challenges were thrown about rescheduling the race for any time, anywhere, suggesting a readiness to compete again despite the current setbacks. As the discussion about future races heated up, the stakes were articulated clearly. If another opportunity to race arose, it was expected that substantial bets would be placed, with Team 405 favored to win big. The closing advice given to the racers was to toughen up in preparation for the challenges ahead, emphasizing the competitive spirit that permeated the event. The day ended with a mix of disappointment and determination as racers and fans alike contemplated their next move under the stormy skies. We've got a solid plan in place. The gatekeeper and the farm truck are both set and ready, and the list currently ends at 10. You're aiming to grab spot 11, but it's going to be a challenge to climb to the top since your truck is pretty heavy. Still, you're excited to jump into the action. Your role will be to keep out any challengers who aren't serious. For example, if someone shows up bragging about their '94 RX-S7 and wants to challenge the list, you'll be the one to stop them, unless they've actually beaten the farm truck, which they haven't. After the storm, the race for the top spot heats up. The underdogs of Oklahoma's racing scene. In a twist of events, the coveted 10th spot was now open, and it seemed there was no way to settle for 11th as initially desired. The decision was made. The holder of this interim position would need to be determined through competition. The search was on for 4 of the best and fastest racers from the 405 area. These weren't to be average racers, they needed to be the cream of the crop, those who could truly claim the title of King Knucklehead. The chosen ones would face off in a fierce competition, with the victor earning the right to challenge the farm truck for the esteemed 10th spot.
Doesn't make sense to me.
Well, okay, let's start where it does make sense. The red lit. Let's just
Winning this race would secure their position as the gatekeeper of the list. However, a loss would relegate them to the 11th spot, humorously dubbed the Trash Man. This title, while amusing, came with the bitter taste of defeat, adding an extra layer of stakes to the competition. But this isn't the tricky part yet. Since our top 10 list has gotten a lot of attention, we're now flooded with all sorts of hopefuls showing up at the farm truck shop. They arrive in their beat-up Honda Civics or old Mitsubishi Eclipses with huge spoilers and loud exhaust, convinced they have a shot just because they've watched all the Fast and Furious movies. They think they're ready to take that number 10 spot. So that's the game plan. You in? Let's get started. Who are these new faces coming in? In street racing, things move fast and get intense. Shane Mallory is one of the top drivers, expertly handling his Vega with its big tires and powerful engine. He's made a name for himself in western Oklahoma, leaving most of his rivals behind in his dust. Then there's Mike, famous in the racing world for his bright turquoise Chevelle. With a big Nitrous-powered engine, he's always pushing the limits and proving what he can do on the streets. Wayne Varley is another big name, known for driving his golden Mustang like a true racing veteran. On the other hand, there's Mike Henson, who's relatively new to the scene. He drives a sleek black Corvette with a huge engine and 3 stages of nitrous that crank out over 1,500 horsepower. He's here to challenge the fastest racers and maybe even become one of the best. After talking things over back at the garage, the team decides to make some changes to their car. They want it to be more stable at high speeds, so they spend a few hours fixing minor issues and making some technical upgrades. Their goal is to keep the competition tight, so they set up a series of races to see who gets to race against Farmtruck for a spot on the coveted racer list. This plan adds even more excitement among the drivers, all of them eager to show off their skills and prove they belong at the top. The night promises some thrilling races, where the cars and their drivers will be pushed to their limits. But this isn't the end of the story. It's just the beginning of a night that will shake up the standings and reputations in street racing. As we get ready to head out, it's important to know who the first racers are. We'll kick things off with the second race, Pinson going up against Shane. But before that, Wayne Valley takes the very first spot, and BBC Mike also jumps in as one of the early racers. This sets us up perfectly for the first race in our round-robin competition. Let's make it unforgettable. With the list shaken up, a thrilling competition awaits. The chase for glory. Thinking about placing some bets, maybe $500, or even $1,000? It's going to be thrilling. Saturday night, come prepared with your cash and get ready for some high-speed action. As we gear up for this round-robin event, we'll get to see some interesting strategies come into play. Big Chief is the one behind organizing all of this, and while some people might think his crew is a bit rough around the edges, there's no denying they're fast. Think of it like we're detectives looking closely at each racer. We'll get to watch 3 races to see how they handle the pressure, whether they stay calm or get nervous, use nitrous or turbo, and how they perform right off the line. This is important because any one of them could end up being the champion, and we could be the ones facing them next. But that's not even the most exciting part. Are you ready for Saturday night? The first race starts with Vlewe against BBC Mike. It's expected to be a tight match since both racers are running with big block engines and nitrous. This could really be a show to remember. The shiny gold fender car zooms onto the track, followed closely by Barley's vehicle, which skillfully maneuvers its way forward. Barley's car races ahead, passing the others with incredible speed, and secures a win, moving him into the final rounds of the competition. As the race progressed, Barley surged ahead while BBC Mike was forced to withdraw, creating an unexpected opportunity. The pace quickened, hearts pounding with the rhythm of the accelerating engines. Every driver harbored dreams of victory, their aspirations as palpable as the roar of the crowd. But we weren't the only ones having trouble with control. Many of our competitors faced similar problems. Even so, it was obvious that we were just half a car's length behind right from the start.
What it is an adapter plate to adapt the Chevrolet motor mounts that go underneath our 450.
Still, we pushed ourselves, doing everything we could to catch up. Then the gold fender car comes back, stronger than before, after beating big block Chevy Mike. This gives me a huge boost of confidence for the next round, where I'm determined to show what we're really made of. Shelby, who managed to bounce back from a rough start, gets some well-deserved praise. We had spent months and a lot of money improving our car, hoping that tonight would be the night it all pays off. The team was filled with a sense of certainty that their extensive efforts and investments would restore their position among the elite racers. Driven by an intense desire to succeed and spurred on by a bold bet of $1,000 on the upcoming race, they felt a deep appreciation for the support that had been showered upon them. As they looked forward to the challenges ahead, their focus was unwavering, their determination palpable. The anticipation of competing at the highest level once again was not just a dream, but a reachable reality, bolstered by relentless preparation and an unyielding spirit. But the competition isn't over yet. Next up, we set our sights on Shane Mallory and his powerful Pro-Charged Vega. He's been dominating races all across western Oklahoma and is a tough opponent to beat. He's up against Mike Henson, who drives a wild Corvette with a massive engine and high-tech nitrous systems, producing over 1,500 horsepower. This Corvette is more than just powerful, it's designed to conquer the list of top racers, making Mike a strong favorite in the upcoming race. Who will take the win, Shane's Vega or Mike's Corvette? Drop your predictions below, hit like, leave your comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more.